I think you need to have an appreciation of cyber as a technical and also a business and human problem. I think you need to be able to bring together disparate views from both technology and business and identify ways through. And I think you also need to recognize that cyber prevention is for life, not just a one-off, and that you will be constantly under threat from cyber attack, and that it's a dialogue rather than just a single activity. I think we need to make cyber more accessible, more diverse, and we also need to help people understand that it's a career path with a progression and an ability to get to the top of one's tree. It's not just an IT issue. I think you have to be inclusive. I think you have to recognize that you are dealing with a wide group of stakeholders, and that leadership is as much about listening as it is about telling people what to do. And I think it's also a bit about inspiration. You have to be able to communicate and inspire and bring people along with you. You can't just tell them what to do. You have to explain to them why it's in their interest to do things differently. Resilience, the ability to listen, the ability to shape an environment and guide people, the ability to adapt and adopt new technologies, but in a way that's safe and measured, but also an ability to understand that at a certain point you've got to retain risk, some risk, you can't get rid of it all, and you've got to be able to explain that to your stakeholders and your shareholders. Ultimately, you can't prevent something bad from happening, but what you can do is prepare your organization to react well, and that's the difference between a good leader and a bad leader. Because we need to bring the younger generation along with us. We need to create new leaders. We need to show people that it is an opportunity for everybody, and that we've got probably 15 years of insufficient activity to catch up on. We've got a lot of cyber vacancies in the industry. We need more experts, we need more leaders, we need more people who understand this issue to be able to help protect us as we go forward as a country. And we ended up with a situation where we've sort of got a generational gap between the old, pale male, stale community that sort of leads the cyber industry at the moment, and the cohort behind them who are much more diverse and looking at sort of different angles. And I think we missed a trick for quite a long time, and actually it's only now that we've started to focus on the fact that there is a serious skills gap. And Lancaster and Templar, one of the people doing something about that, and that's great. You can't manage your way out of a cyber problem. You have to lead your way out of a cyber problem. This is not something that can be done at the management level. This is something that has to be led from the top. The board have to demonstrate that they understand the issues. They have to lead their organization through these difficult times. And they have to be ready to take responsibility if bad things happen, as much as they have to take responsibility for making sure that if bad things do happen, that the organization's got a plan. You can't delegate that down the tree to some poor member of staff who becomes the sort of the fall person for an event. It's got to be board led and top down. This is not an industry specific thing. This is whether it's public sector, private sector, third sector, there is no, where there is cyber vulnerability, where there is data, there is a target and there is somebody trying to get hold of it. So it's global and it's across sector. I found an MBA useful because, and it wasn't in cyber, it was just in general management, but it gave me a sort of an ability to talk about things that I wouldn't otherwise be able to talk about, whether it's finance, accounting, strategy, organisation. And I think a cyber MBA does the same thing, and it allows non-experts to actually get to a position where they can have a conversation with people who are much more knowledgeable than them about the subject, but at least understand what's going on. And I think it's a really important discipline, which is, it needs more leadership attention, it needs more leadership time. And if you've got people who've actually been through the discipline of an educational process to help sensitize them to these issues, I think you'll get a better set of management outcomes as a result. I think it's really good that the NCSC have accredited this course. I think it's really good that, this is the first, and that actually it's a great demonstration of sort of academia, government and private sector getting together to create something that has this kind of quality to it. So, I think it's an excellent start, and we need to see a full-time MBA come on after that. We need to see other programs as well, because I think that the NCSC have got a lot of good information to impart, and these are, for example, a really good vehicle for making sure that information gets shared. Because cybersecurity is not just about technology. It's about organisation survival. It's about prospering in a difficult world. It's about making sure that organisations can trade safely, irrespective of the threats that sit outside their firewalls, as well as the behaviour of people inside, making sure they don't do the wrong things or don't get tripped up by clever spoofs. So I think it's addressing a need, because there is a gap in the sort of leadership and management of this issue. And I think it's good timing. I think that there will need to be more and more understanding at sort of all levels of education about the importance of this stuff. And we need to create that cohort not only of technical excellence but also of leadership excellence as well.